viewer or if you're a subscriber, I appreciate you being here, being with me. So, today, I believe looks like it's a decent start. Let's actually get to where we were at. It's a decent start. I mean, we're at 1% up, but obviously it's not anything to write home about. We're merely only 1% up. I wanted to do a crypto stream yesterday, but I just don't have the time. What's going on, Chef Hood? How are you doing? Good morning, Marty. Good morning, everybody. Oh man, I didn't get any water, but whatever. We'll deal with that. Make sure I have everything set here. I don't have a thumbnail on it. All right, I'll get to questions in a couple of seconds. All right, 46 people in here, guys. You know what to do once you get in here. You know, just gently tap that like button. Good morning, done right, Joshua. Why are people saying we can hit 10K? Well, looking at the overall situation, I mean, we can definitely hit higher and higher numbers as long as, everything goes right when it comes to the retail traders. Because the only reason why this happens or this is happening is because of the fact that you have 80% or close to 80% of, the float being held by retail traders. And if that somehow depletes to 60% and then 50%, then we start to see lower and lower numbers, not higher numbers. But if we see people hold out for certain levels while they cover their shorts, we're going to see higher and higher figures. So it definitely can get to 10K. I think of the ceiling. Obviously, the maximum ceiling could be 100K, could be even higher than that. But I'm thinking that our ceiling, our realistic ceiling, or sort of a realistic ceiling, would be between that 10 and 20K, right? So that's what I'm looking for as a realistic ceiling versus the stretch goal ceiling, the ultimate like roof, I guess. But I know that the floor for where I believe this can go and where it will get to is 1,000, 1,000 to 1,000 to 2,000. Good morning. Good morning. What up? What up? If my wife sees my crypto portfolio, kicks up, boys. Yeah, crypto is not looking great. I mean, Dogecoin is down to 16 cents. It hasn't dropped below that, but it is down to 16 cents. Ethereum's down to 1,700. Ethereum Classic is down to 38. Litecoin is down to 105, which is insane. So if you can load up on Litecoin, that's not a bad option. I was looking at some other positions when I looked at some crypto. I made a video yesterday talking about Compound and how much I do believe in that position. And right now it's down to 315. So if this goes any lower, I want to make a move in there and buy another Compound right now. But I have to go and check my accounts and everything because remember, last week and this week is where I'm paying bills, so it's definitely tough. But yeah, I can definitely say that Compound is a play. I want to see that below 300. That would be amazing. Right now, it's definitely a buy as it continues to go lower and lower. It will be a buy for me. Even if it gets down to 100, I'll continue to buy. I'll buy 3 instead of buying just 1 over at this, where I am now. So we have to see how this plays out. We have to see. But yeah, there's a lot of crypto, and we can definitely get into some crypto information later if you guys want to. So right now, AMC is sitting at $35.12, up about 50 cents. I definitely needed some water. He's from Boogie Down Bronx, y'all. How long will it stay at those levels? will it be a time to sell? If you're talking about it stay at like $10,000, is that what you're saying? I don't believe it'll stay at certain levels long. Just know that if you have a lot of sorry, I read another comment and I got sidetracked. If you have a lot of shares, it may end up derailing a lot when you end up selling everything. If you have less shares, then not so much. So if you have like 100 shares or so, I don't believe it'll derail too much. But if you have 1,000 or 2,000 shares, obviously that's a lot of money that you would gain, and it makes sense why you would end up pulling out if you wanted to. But just know that it's very tough, to continue the squeeze after you do see like 2,000 shares of, $10,000 a piece come off the board. You know what I mean? It starts to decrease that price. So that's why it's a little bit difficult to see it get to these higher numbers, because I do believe that when you start to see higher and higher figures, people will start to realize, oh, I'm up 100, 200, 300, $500,000. But most people are like, hey, you know what? I want $1 million. But how about you just settle for a couple hundred thousands of dollars? And if you actually have, options or whatever, then you can make that play as well. But obviously, options, you have to, really predict where it's going to get to. So it can stay there for a little bit, but depending on how many people sell at that point, I mean, it might end up falling quick. So like if we see people continue to hold, then it can actually stay at 10,000 and increase to 15, increase to 20, increase to 30 if we see people continue to hold as the shorts are covering. So it's definitely a difficult situation when you look at that. XRP is really down to 52 cents, which is crazy. Let's bring up most popular. Let's see. Password, that's up for sure. What? Going on vacation is this weekend and all of next week, so I can't buy these dips right now. I hear you. I hear you. Good morning, sir. Thank you for what you do. Let's see here. Well, thank you for watching. I appreciate it. I mean, there would be no me without you guys, so that's why I'm here. To give you guys some information, not really to tell you exactly what you need to do, but just give you some information and some answer some questions and whatnot. I truly believe all of us won't be able to cash out at that exact moment if the squeeze does happen. The government obviously come in and add regulations. Yes, I 100% believe that it will be very difficult for people to get out, especially where you start to see where a lot of these peaks are. So that's why I always talk about exit strategies and finding ways to, get some money out of there. If you can take out $100,000 at a time, that's amazing. You don't need to just settle for cashing out at $30 million. I understand that you see somebody like DFV end up making that move, but not everybody can end up making that move. Not everybody can buy 50,000 shares of one stock. I truly believe in all. Oh, I just read that. I like the title already, but cash out up. Read the same thing because it went up. Last delta. Shut this down and hedge funds win. I don't know about that because yes, it will shut down the revenue portion of it. It just means that in order for the company to really survive, you most likely will need to offer more shares. I don't think it will derail everything. But the company right now has the ability to survive months because it has been bringing in revenue. So it does have the ability to survive months because of the fact that they did end up issuing their shares and getting a lot in there, paying off debt, being able to survive a little bit longer. So even if they do shut down, you'll still have a while that you can that the business will survive. So we won't have an issue, I don't believe. You think this crypto dip It's because of the New Jersey ban. BlockFi started on July 22nd. No, I think it's more than that. I just think it's off season for crypto. When you look at crypto, it's definitely off season. A lot of crypto is falling, and that's what I'm thinking. You also have probably some institutions and hedge funds that are pulling their positions, just because they were at all-time highs, and that's what they do. They end up making money on the situation. They're not going to hold it forever. I don't know if they truly believe in crypto, so they just look at it for the swings and look at it for making money. So they made money, getting up to was it 67K for Bitcoin, getting up to $5,000 for Ethereum, and whatever. So they're making a lot of money there, and they were just going to cash out and then get to a point to where they could buy in low again, which is coming soon, and then you'll see it end up skyrocketing again. So it's more of just the ebbs and flows of the market, mimicking or mirroring what the stock market is doing. If GameStop, who has zero debt, issues a one-time dividend, yeah, if they issue a dividend, I think it will be difficult for the shorts, because they would have to pay that. Just woke up 3x on my back. Only 100K market cap, still early, guys. I have seen that. Just a bit too clickbaity, Matt. I do watch you. Just the title, man. Of course, we're ready for the squeeze, but this is misleading. Trying to. This is misleading. I'm trying to hate. Hope you are doing well, brother. Yeah, I mean, it's not misleading. It's asking a question. Who is ready for this squeeze to happen? I mean, it's not. It can't be misleading at all. It's literally a question. It's not telling you that this squeeze is going to happen today. It's asking you a question. It even has a question mark. I love the title, Matt. AMC to $200 today. Hopefully you're right. One of these days, it's gonna hit. You think today breaking and holding into 40s? I'm not sure yet. We have to wait until we see how the day is moving. We're not really seeing a crazy amount of volume right now, so we have to wait until we see how the day is going to move. How the influx in volume when it comes to 701, 801, things like that. Matt, how can the hedge funds possibly prevent a squeeze from happening? The only way they can prevent a squeeze from happening is if they end up covering their positions and take away the buy button. If they take away the buy button, and I mean, you may be giving them some sort of information, but if the buy button is taken away and they cover their positions and just accept whatever loss they had, knowing that we will lose if they end up when we have to sell early, then it could be horrible for the amount of the height of the squeeze. It ends up only getting to like $500, $700, which is not bad. It's not bad at all, but it's not going to be a squeeze that we were hoping for of 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 10,000, whatever. So I think ultimately they can't really prevent it unless we start to sell early. And any way that they can scare us off, maybe if they take away the buy button now before they start to cover, if they did something like that, and they had no reason to take away the buy button, but they ended up doing that, the government can screw us over if they wanted to, and I don't want them to, but that's what they like. They like all the people that don't have money. They like to keep them that way. It's better if you have a bunch of people that don't have money, because then they're forced to work, and you need workers in this economy in order for it to function, because that's the old way of thinking. You need workers, but everything's moving towards AI anyways. If you're moving towards not hiring workers, why not bring people, or have people own businesses or be able to trade in the markets or anything like that, because then they'll be able to make money and you won't have just people poor everywhere. My dear friend, interesting title. Squeeze can happen today. I just have 50 stocks. How realistic high can it go? Regards. So I'm thinking the realistic high, and I said this earlier. The realistic high is between 10 and 20K. I'm thinking that is like the realistic high to where you can get to, you can possibly get to. Now, when you talk about the ultimate roof, or I like to call it the ceiling, but it's higher than that. Let's say the top floor of it could be 100K if everything played out exactly right. However, everything will not play out exactly right. So you can't predict that the floor or the ceiling or I guess top floor will be 100K because you never really know who's going to sell at what point. Just imagine this: you have 10,000 shares, it got to $10,000. That's a lot of money, and for some reason I can't do the math. 100 would be a million, 1,000 would be 10 million, so that would be $100 million that you would be sitting on, just by getting to $10,000. So you're telling me that someone that's holding 10,000 shares getting to $10,000 worth of value is not going to sell for $100 million? I call BS. They will sell for $100,000. That's why I'm saying, or $100 million. So when I look at that, I always say, okay, what's the likelihood that people will start to sell at certain points? I think at $1,000, people will start to sell at certain points because they do believe that they believe that it's going to go higher, but they're willing to accept what they do have, and not risk it going away. So it's definitely a tough situation. You have to do kind of your own like mental due diligence rather than just doing due diligence on the stock, the overall position, Ortex data, all that stuff. It's a lot more difficult than you think because it's more of a mental game. It's like, when do they plan on selling? Because there are winners and there are losers. If you don't sell and somebody else sells, then you end up losing out on the opportunity of growth and where the current price is, because once they sell, the price goes down. So now you lost out on an opportunity, which creates you to think in more of a panic setting and then sell that position, which lowers it for somebody else. So it's very tough, to say exactly where the peak is. But I would say the realistic ceiling, for that long-winded answer, is 10 to 20K. The floor is around $1,000 to $2,000. We see the floor as 1K, 2K, 5K. I just answered that. So 1 to 2K. 100K floor. I have 747 shares of AMC at $11. Is that more than the average? I wouldn't say that's more than the average. You have a good amount. So you can, I have 900 shares. So you have a good amount. Do I want to put everything all into one basket? I mean, it's amazing to be able to do that because, obviously, the growth potential with AMC and where it did get to. But 747 is not bad. That's more than the average. The average, I think, is 120. Gamma incoming, though. I don't know about that. I have 1,070 shares at $51 average. So you're waiting for this to come up. Have you had a chance to lower your? I know 1,000 shares at $51 is quite a bit. Your cost averages, or the amount that you put into it, is pretty high. Have you tried to lower your cost basis at all? Is it Vignon? Good morning, Kriegs. Morning, folks. I have 100 shares, but hopefully it can create a sizable return. I think it definitely can. 100 shares will not really impact the squeeze too much, so you can sell at certain levels. You can also find a way to increase the amount of shares that you have if you see any type of opportunity to where it gets up to certain levels. Where is it going to resist from? If you find where it's going to resist from, maybe take out like $20 or 20 shares and then put it back in lower. That same thing of you taking out 20 shares and putting back in at $30 would have been really good for you to increase your share count. You never tell me good morning, Greece. 747 shares is above average. Any amount is helpful. Yeah. I thought 200K would be the roof. I think if you're looking at the roof, so let's go with top floor being 100K. I guess from what we're hearing, 500K could be the roof. Now, we have seen stocks get to these levels before, very briefly, but it's so tough to see that because so many people are holding a lot of shares that you start to see people sell off, and it's all about when people will sell. And I truly think that people will sell a lot earlier because of the fact that they're making so much money on it, Now take us through the squeeze. How will it play out? And will it start? And how long do you think? Where do you see it the first day? So if I had to take you through the squeeze, right, I think that when we see this move up, we're going to see it jump up different levels. First, we're still going to see this build up, to 100, 200, all the way up until a portion to where people aren't willing to buy at those levels. So maybe $400, $500 is where people aren't willing to buy as much, where people are just willing to hold, right? Then you're going to see the shorts come into play. People that want to, or the hedge funds that continue to short it, or they say, you know what, I'm going to cover everything because I can't handle this. We're going bankrupt or whatever, which will be detrimental to the other stocks that they are holding long. But never mind that. You're going to see the shorts start to cover, which start to bring it to higher and higher prices. Now, if we're holding 80 to 90% of the float, whatever it actually ends up being, we're going to see those shorts end up paying higher and higher prices for more to cover those shares, because they need those shares in order to cover it. So if they're basically saying there's only 1,000 left, now they have to pay higher and higher prices because it's more of like supply and demand. Look, we don't have the supply, but you obviously need the stock. So you pay me a higher price and we'll give it to you. You know what I mean? Like, that's exactly what you will see. Is you'll start to see people like retail traders that are putting in limit orders for $1,000, $2,000. And then what they'll need to do in order to cover it is buy those. And when they buy those, it creates that increase in the price. So it's going to continue to rise, 2,000, 3,000. I think it's going to end up getting to maybe 5,000 before the market closes. And then in the after hours market, you're going to see it get to $10,000, where I will probably have somewhere around, I don't know, 200 shares or so left. And that's where you're going to see that take a hit in the after hours market, start to fall. People are going to start to sell. Maybe if we see at that place, if we see a lot of people start to sell at that place, but it's all dependent on if people start to sell. So if you see large chunks start to come out in the after hours market, which is going to be tough because there's less liquidity, then you're going to see larger chunks come out in the market open. So that's where it ends up getting to a tricky situation where it's like, is it over at $10,000 or is it not? So I can't really give you exactly how it's going to play out. You have to take a look at things and make sure you look at everything. You look at the trading activity, you look at the volume, you look at the order books, you look at all of that stuff. Step by step, I would have to do a full video on that. If you guys want that, I can definitely do that. Step by step squeeze or something. I don't know what the title could be. 1,100 shares at $8.86 here. That's amazing. I wish I could buy a lot more there. Sorry, I'm way behind. Last question. Do you think this can happen before August? My birthday is coming. I think it can, but will it? I don't know. I would say no, just because we're not even at that point to where we've seen it break maybe 100 or 150 or 200. We haven't seen that point yet, and we need to see that break certain levels to where the FOMO buying really kicks in until they realize that they fully lost, and we don't know when that will happen. We don't know when they'll give up. They can do it at any time. They can show us a fake squeeze at any time, which could have been what we did see. Maybe you had some cover and you had a lot of FOMO buying that was going on because you had hundreds of thousands of volume of shares worth of volume. So I could say it's definitely tough to realize exactly when it's going to happen or predict exactly when it's going to happen. But yeah, I think it can happen, but will it? I don't think it will. I think it's going to take a little bit. Good morning, Matt and family. Smash the like button. Yeah, smash that like button. We have 400 people in here. If you could smash the like button, it would help me out. Nothing stopping hedge funds from taking the price down with naked shorts and paying off legit shares to make us think they're covering. Yeah, manipulating numbers. Yeah, they paint the picture that they want us to see. So when we're looking at Ortex data, it's not really giving us a true picture of what we should see. You know, we're looking at 15% of the free float, 76 million shares, when we know that they're borrowing a crazy amount, and we know that Fintel is telling us something completely different. If Fintel is telling us that they're shorting over 33% or whatever of the actual stock, I don't know. My mouse is being weird. If Intel is telling us they're shorting 33% of the actual position there, and let's go back up here. I think it's up here. We go here and they're shorting 26% yesterday, 29.1 million shares short. And, you know, the day before, 41.7, the day before that, 43.3. So they're obviously shorting a crazy amount, even though, Ortex is telling us that they only borrowed 1 million shares. We understand that they borrow the shares, but they don't need to short them right away. So they're continuing to, short the position at a hefty amount, and we're only seeing a very small portion of that. It doesn't make sense how they're shorting it that much, and they're only returning, about 1 million shares. It's kind of showing us only half of the picture there, Just realize that. Right now, AMC is at $35 flat. It's up about 1.1%. Lower too much, institutions will step in, and that's will defeat them. When and if it reaches those highs, do you think these broker companies will allow us to sell? I think it's going to be tricky. So, do I think they will allow us to sell to a certain extent? When it gets to a higher high, I don't believe so. I think it's going to be something where everything shuts down. The system may freeze. You may not be allowed to buy or sell at that point. And that's where it ended up getting tricky. That's why I keep telling people, look, find a way to cover your cost basis or cover your initial investment, maybe take out a little bit here and there. You don't need to sell everything at the peak, because yeah, if you do get to the peak and you can't sell, it's going to make you upset. But what will happen is that you already pocketed $400,000 maybe from the way that it moved. And if you pocket $400,000 or $1 million or whatever from where it moved, you'll be happy with, you won't be happy right away, but you will be happy with the fact that you came out with something while others didn't come out with anything. So, or came out with way less. So just know that I think you need to realize what your exit strategy actually is, because I do believe that they'll find a way to restrict it, and you can't take anything off the table here, because Daisy, get down. Because hedge funds and government, and the government will try and keep you poor. That's just what they try and do. If you're middle class, they want to keep you middle class. If you're poor, they want to keep you poor. If you're rich, obviously they don't want to keep you rich. They want you to lose all your money so that you end up going back into the workforce. Because that's what they need, is just workers. You don't have workers, and people won't want to work those government jobs. They don't want to work government jobs as it is. And everyone has way more shares than I do. I feel out of place. Damn, double digits. Double digits here. I guess I'm just poor. No, I mean it takes a while. You can actually make those shares into. You can turn those. I don't know how many shares you have, like 50 shares or 90 shares or whatever, into more shares if you wanted to. But you just play it how you want to play it in order to increase your shares. Morning, Matt. Been offline for a week. Good to see you. I'm excited for today. You've been offline, or I've been offline? Because I've been here. But it's great to see you. Thank you for being here. 1 share or 10,000 shares, it doesn't matter. All that matters is you're not using your money. Wait, not using your money, and you need to live on. Yes, 100%. Praying for everyone to get maxed out on this. Yeah, it's going to be tough for everyone to make the max amount of money because there are winners and there are losers. That's just how it goes. Stay strong. It's luck who got in. Yeah, as long as you got some, you good, bro. Yes. Good morning, Matt. Yeah, I have been averaging down my cost of my 1,000 plus shares. Start to cover. Good to hear. What's stopping institutions from selling millions of shares at once to help the hedgies? Probably the fact that if institutions end up selling, then they lose out on massive gains. They know what's at stake here. Institutions realize that there are there's a massive potential for gains here, and the problem that we end up facing, you know, as retail holders and people that are holding less shares, is the fact that they are the largest holders, right? If they're holding, hundreds of thousands of shares, if not a million shares or so, then we kind of, whenever they decide to sell, we know that that may end up being the peak, you know? Like that's where it ends up being a difficult situation. So I know that you have some institutions that are probably on hedge fund side, but you don't have all institutions that are on their side. It would be stupid because they realize what this can be. So what's stopping them? Nothing's stopping them. I would say the only thing that's stopping most of them is the fact that it's their money that's on the line. It's their potential gains. The opportunity cost is insane. Don't sell for crumbs if the market crashes. Uh, I just missed everything. So I'm going to skip a bunch of stuff. All right, let's close this up to members only soon. And then why does everybody? I think why does everybody think I'm a man? My picture, my picture isn't me. That's where I've been called sir um, many many times this week. Yeah, I mean, that's just how it goes. I don't know. Anybody can have any picture. That's probably the reason. Good morning. Good morning, Edward. Do you think the next big jump is near? How high do you think the price could go in the next jump? I'm thinking it will go above 100, maybe 120. Around that point is where you'll see it resist a little bit, then probably break back below 100 before it increases above that point. So before it starts to get above 150 or 160, I'm thinking those are the levels. But then again, you can't really 100% predict this. It's not something where you can say, you know what, I have, uh, I don't know, my time machine. I'm trying to think of another device. My time machine where I could see into the future. Crystal ball. That's what I was going with. Jesus. uh, 447 people in here, only 120 likes. Early morning bots already. Yeah, hit that like button, guys. If you can hit the like button, it would help out so much. Definitely not a man. Other countries are truly screwed. I know people who don't even know what the stock market is. Yeah. Hey, check out OCGM, bro. I'm holding 14 option call contracts and 200 shares at $6.50. With the Delta variant pandemic showing a ton of potential. That's a good point. That's a very good point. So you're holding shares at like $1 gain, 200 shares at like $1 gain, which you gained about $200 on that already. How far out are your options? Look at this. OCGN. I also want to bring up GameStop because I want to see how that's going. All right. Let me close this up to members only. What are your thoughts on Disney? Well, I like Disney as a company, first of all. I think their numbers are going to be crazy. Um, movie numbers, Disney Plus numbers, all of that stuff is just going to be really, really good. The only thing I worry about is the park, with, a new variant and all that stuff. Need to close this up. Members only. Do I hold Disney position? I don't hold any. I probably should because I believe they offer a dividend. Do they? I'm not 100% sure. I'm pretty sure they do. They don't. Thought they did. So a lot of times with these long-term positions, or these growth positions that a lot of people see them in, I look at them. If they have a massive amount of growth potential in a day, then yes, I'll make that move. But most likely with a lot of these positions, whether it's Amazon, Tesla, or anything, I'm not looking to move into those positions. Um, I mean, from a couple of times you'll probably see me get into those type of positions, but I'm not looking for long-term growth with those. I look for consistent long-term growth with my long-term positions. People get back on Zomedica, I'll be a very rich man. Yeah, I mean it's a pretty big deal. I don't know where Zomedica is when it comes to the short percentage because I know that they were being shorted 40+%. Let's look at this. I'm also gonna break that down. So we'll look at Zomedica here. Zom. So they're now currently at 10%. They're consistently increasing, which is definitely a great sign. 10%, 10.58%, short interest of free float, 100 million short shares. We understand that Zomedica does have 900 million of a short, of a, free float. So it's a lot, which basically means that obviously the higher the price goes, the higher the market cap is. But when you start to see positions like that start to increase when it comes to the short interest of free float, you look at 100 million shares out of that 900 million, it's about 10%, it should be a little over that. It's pretty crazy. My mouse is just acting weird. You think we're pushing past 40 today or dip back to 32? I think we're gonna have a little bit of a dip, but then again, I can't really give my prediction yet. I feel like there's a lot of pressure now with my prediction because I feel like yesterday went absolutely perfect and there was no like there was no straying from that prediction at all, and it was really really good. But that's why I want to wait it out a little bit and see what I can see, where any bounces actually are and what the typical movement is with AMC at the open. Because sometimes we see the complete opposite, and I'm hoping that I don't see what I'm saying because a lot of times it's more realistic to where I'll say we're going to be down or up 1% at close because that's where they like to bring us back to where we started at. But when you look at the overall situation, I would love it to just break way far away from my prediction. So if I say it's going to finish at 1%, I want it to finish at 100%. I want it to finish at 50, 100%, 200%, something like that. But obviously, I try to be as realistic as possible. Guys, we have 412 people in here, and we have 167 likes. I think we can get those like counts up. That would be great. Zom has really low volume. It's probably too cheap for shorts to keep holding it. um, I don't know what you mean by that. Zom has really low volume. It's probably too cheap for shorts to keep holding it. I mean, it does have low volume at times. When you start to see Zom really pick up in volume, it like the volume goes, it just gets ridiculous. And obviously, I look for that to happen. I would love for that to happen. See, a billion in volume in one day would be phenomenal. Looks like a lot of companies that were being shorted heavily ended in the green yesterday. Yeah, slightly in the green. Made an extra 1K off of what? Off it to put in AMC. Off of what? Sorry, I lost my. Anyone holding NVDA? I'm not holding it. Freaking out this morning. Is it making a pretty big move? I hate the fact that my mouse is just acting freaking weird. I don't have my charger for it. It's just not connecting to the computer. Well, it's not really working out right. Right now, it's up about 0.37%. Now, the sell-off phase has been shown through the parabolic arc. Is in the bullish territory. AMC is going to testing 40 and 50, and the breakout 72.6. Don't be modest. You are tell us enlightened what? Funny. Well, I need that dip so I can grab some more. Yeah, I mean that's usually what people hope for, but then you hope for a quick dip, not really like a long dip, because a lot of people will get, or there's a couple of people that may get kind of scared as to what's happening. I'm mad if I buy shares one day, sell the next morning, and then buy some day later. Is that classified as a day trade? No. If you have a day in between, whenever you have a reset as soon as that market opens. So if you buy something one day, you sell it the next day, it's not considered a day trade. If you buy something the next, or you buy something that same day, it's not considered a day trade either, because you sold a position that you had previously and then you bought another position. So once you open a position, if you close it the same day, that's where it's considered a day trade. But if you open a position, close it one day, and then open another position that same day, it's not considered a day trade. That's why most people will start out swing trading, because they could do it with less money, rather than day trading, within that day. No swing trade. However, some people will get stuck into a certain situation where they have to sell. So out of those swing trades that you make, you might see that stock go against you. And if it does go against you and you end up hitting your stop loss, that's where it ends up getting very tricky, because you have to sell, which creates a day trade, Morning, how's everyone doing today? Let's have a good day. Hit that like button. Yes. Carl, I don't know where Carl is. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. So right now, let's look at AMC and GME. We'll look at both. So GME is actually up about 2%. It was up to 2.3% yesterday, up to $173, up $4.45, and now it's up about $3.51 in the pre-market. Now Carl's here, and it's up about 2% now. When we look at AMC was down about 1% yesterday, down about 34 cents. It's up to $35 or 1.1%, which is where it was last time. We're seeing about 75,000 shares worth of volume just in Webull alone. And for GME, we're seeing about 9,000 shares worth of volume. Yeah. What? Did it have some sort of a split? Typically, you'll see that split happen in the market open, right? It had a reverse split, or sorry, a split, not a reverse split. Their free float is 2.4 billion shares. How is their price so high? What is their market cap? Do they have a market cap here? Free float market cap, 449 billion. Jesus. How is their price so freaking high? Did they like just a bunch of people hold their shares? Like, Jesus Christ. Like, that's what I look at and I go, okay, can Zomedica get up to that point? Because they really only hold about 1 billion. And I guess yes. I guess the answer is yes. Your market cap is 467 billion. The pre-market price, not the other one. Yeah. So I'm looking at 189 $189. That's still high for how much how many shares they have. So they had to have done like a a reverse or a stock split and actually bring that price down quite a bit. But still, at $180, it's still very high for the amount of shares that they have out there. That's crazy. But $751 is crazy as well. No matter what, it's ridiculous. I wanted to look at history. Wait, did it? Give me a second. Let me look at the 5-day. Not 5 minute, 5-day. I don't know what the hell's going on here. But why is the open looking at like 750, 740 or whatever? But then when I go to the year, it's only pulling it up at $208 or lower. What the hell is going on here? Is Webull just stupid? Shares outstanding is 2.4 billion. Don't worry, sorry if somebody records it. I might become a full-time trader. There you go. If they get margin called with the price rapidly increase, margin called is actually just on their account. So if they get margin called, they're not just getting margin called on a certain position, right? Just think of it as like you have out you bought some stocks on margin, right? Whatever you bought on margin, that's what's going to get called back. So basically, if you bought some shares or whatever you owe, basically is going to get called back. If you can pay that back, then you'll be good. So it's basically on your account. So if they have $16 billion and they're trading about a billion on margin, then a lot of that will end up getting pulled back. Now, will all of their stock get pulled back? Will all of their shorts get pulled back? Will they be forced to cover all of those? Most likely not. Maybe a portion, but not all of it. Good start. Good. Start a channel. Yeah, start a channel. Lewis? Lewis? Yeah, start a channel. I'll check it out. I check out a lot of channels. So whether you have 20 subscribers or 20,000 or 20 million, I check out everybody's subscribers, or sorry, their channels. And if it's interesting, I mean, I definitely will subscribe. Do you think hedge funds will have a large gold asset? And I don't think it could affect the squeeze in any way. I think they're going to liquidate a lot of positions once they feel like they are forced to bring some more money to the table to make up for AMC. If they're going to do that, if they're not just going to give up, then yeah, they're going to pull out of a lot of their assets that they're holding, and you're going to see whatever they are holding decrease quite a bit. The market probably end up making a huge move back. What's the time range? Max is probably a bug with a weekly or monthly, yearly chart. No, I'm still seeing 208. I could possibly look at 1 month. 1 month is showing me 800 plus or so, and then this eventual dip back down to I guess 150. But if I look at, let's see, 3 months, yeah, it's still showing me what you see there. But then when I look at something of year to date, boom, drops all the way down to a low of 115, a high of 208, which makes no sense to me. This 1 subscriber, 0 videos so far. What's going on here? And so many updates on. Or is that my dog? Oh, that's my dog. EDA is down. There's so many crypto. There's so much crypto that's just getting like to levels where I'm like, this is gonna be amazing once this pops off. And if it does end up making that move, I hope it doesn't make it soon. I hope I can load up on a bunch of different altcoins and different cryptocurrencies. I really want to buy a bunch of compound for that to go to, $2,000. I would love to have 100 shares of that for that to go to 100 or 2,000 or 2,000 or sorry, 1,000 or $2,000. Morning, everyone. Not named Matt. Greeting and okay, fine, Lance. Then I won't say good morning. I mean, I just said it, but whatever. Consider a scenario of market crash. Do we need last very long? You're saying that if we have a market crash, um, saying it could bring the stock down and they could regain money on their shorts if we did have a crash. Just keep in mind that this is where I don't understand where people don't understand what the stock market is. The stock market is controlled by buyers and sellers. a lot of times you have a crash based on maybe a mass amount of retail traders that get out of the position, but most likely it's institutions and hedge funds that are pulling out of their positions. They hold the most weight in this position. When a person sells, a retail trader sells, it's probably 100 shares. Is that really going to affect the market? Even if 10 people, sell their position, they make it seem like everybody's selling because they control how the market works. The crash is based off of what institutions and people that have a lot of holdings are selling. So if we're holding 80% of AMC, it's not going to crash. The only thing that we're going to see is a massive decrease based on the institutions that are holding. So if they're holding 28%, we can see that decrease by that amount, by that 28%, right? Obviously, it can decrease by more than that. If you look at the overall stock price, it could decrease by half based on 28% of the stock selling. But that's what we're saying, is that we're still holding 80% of it, and they're going to sell probably, 10% of their holdings in order to simulate that this is part of the crash too. But AMC is not going to make that move as long as we continue to hold. It's based off of buyers and sellers. So whenever you see the stock market crash and people say, oh, it's going to crash based on, inflation rates or whatever, they're trying to create fear so institutions end up pulling out of their positions. When they pull out of their positions, that's when you see the stock market go down. So a lot of people like to, imply that this thing is affecting the stock market, which made it crash. It's the news that's creating fear, which gets people to, or gets institutions to sell the position. Like that's the issue. I have 2 subscribers. Devin Payne. 2 subs, no videos. Yeah, it's not bad. Let me change this up to look at. Let's see, SOS. SOS is currently at $2.42. This position is sort of killing me here, but I would love to be able to. Maybe I should buy some more as it does go lower. If it goes down to $1, I'll definitely buy more, because then that's very easy to bring that cost basis down by taking $3,000 and just putting it into the stock. How many reported short shares currently? Are we thinking millions or tens of millions? Unreported and naked. Unreported and naked shorts. I'm thinking it's hundreds of millions, not tens of millions. We're currently, if we're sitting at the, or looking at the shorts, we have 76. What they're showing us is 76 million shorted shares. With the amount that they're actually shorting per day, it really doesn't make sense to me how they couldn't be, if they're not, returning a lot of those shares. They're returning about 1 million or 2 million, or at most it was 9 million. But if they're shorting tens of millions a day, how does that make sense that, we don't have more shorts out there? You know what I mean? So there's something that they're not showing us. And I believe it's, hundreds of millions. I believe they don't want to show us what it actually is, and it's possibly close to maybe 40%, 50%, 100% of the free float behind the scenes, but you never really know. I already said good morning to you. Well, you'd say it again. Good morning. No, I'm just playing. ICP dip. Yes, ICP. I bought more. I bought 10 more yesterday, and I should probably buy 10 more today, because it's at 28. It's at $28. Maybe the GeForce RTX 30 series graphics cards will have limited quantities available on Tuesday, July 20th, only in select stores. Really? So I can go and pick one up? Is that what are the select stores? I need to figure that out, because I would love to get one. I want to build a new computer, and I can't find any products for anything, or any devices. I don't know what to call them. any graphics cards, any processors, any um, uh, motherboards that I want. When most of us get rich, we'll most likely most likely reinvest. how would it how would it crash? Yeah, I think it's gonna like crash right away because one, institutions hold a lot more than people think. They hold millions of shares of things that are $100, $200, $500. You'll see the overall markets end up taking a hit versus some things that are heavily shorted that'll probably not take a hit. But yeah, I think it will end up making or taking a huge dip and then end up seeing an increase with the fact that we are reinvesting. I think a lot of people end up reinvesting into crypto rather than putting a lot more money into the stock market. I'm going to put more money into AMC and let it sit there because I do believe in the position and I believe in what they stand for, and I will always be a part of that. As long as we see this play out the way that it plays out, I will always be a part of that. I guess if it plays out in a certain way in a lower capacity, then I will always hold maybe 10 shares. But if it plays out in a higher capacity, I'll hold somewhere around, between 100 and 1,000 shares for life. I'll never let it go. That there's research done from 2.6 billion to 26.8 billion failure to delivers. The inflow is great. That's crazy. The inflow is greater every day than the outflow. It's insane. I know. It makes no sense how this could stay. And this is estimated. I don't know if they're just showing us this because of the fact that maybe, well, one, they're trying to paint this perfect picture in front of us, or I don't know if I don't really know what's going on with their estimated short interest. I can't picture why. I don't want to say that that Ortex is just giving us bad data. I don't want to say that, and that they're working with them because they're giving us bad data. I don't want to say that because I don't think that's the case. I just think it's the reported information is just wrong. How would you ever? Would you ever? Just curious. It's just the case of something being not for fundamental plays. A lot of these are not fundamental plays. It's not for any type of reason when it comes to news. It's more or less reasons when it comes to something being shorted and something that broke out in the past. When you start to see things get some sort of negative push, a lot of times you'll see a positive jump from that. So it was something that I was reinvested into, do see a little bit of a kick and can still actually make that move based on the fact that it did end up increasing while, AMC and GME and all of these other positions ended up increasing. But now that we're seeing crypto actually pull back, there's a lot of positions that are pulling back as well. So yes, I understand the idea of, investing in something that's being banned or not being taken as the most positive thing into their country or whatever. But it definitely has a play in it. I would say that it has a play. But that's just my opinion, and I could be 100% wrong. But if I'm wrong here, then I'm wrong here. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say that I'm 100% right because you never really know. Anything could play out that way. But all I know is a lot of focus is on AMC and GME, so other plays that are heavily shorted will move quite a bit once you see people start to pull maybe some of their gains out of these positions. And then also people going into crypto and increasing that. So it might take a while for that to make a move, but either way, I mean, it's not something, obviously I don't want to lose any money, but it's not something that I even care about losing in the first place. I finally sat down and watched Mortal Kombat yesterday, and I wanted to puke. Really? I mean, I I mean, I don't know. For me, I'm a person that lives by stories, right? And by you know, I don't know, narration, whatever. I'm a person that lives by that. So no matter what story you put in front of me, I can get interested in something. Now, if it doesn't have a great ending or it has something that just doesn't seem right, it doesn't fit well with the story, then I'll tell you that. Um, I I thought Mortal Kombat wasn't really that great of a movie, but then again, the story did keep me engaged, and I think it just ended prematurely. Obviously, they want to make it to where they extend it across multiple movies, but they did it the wrong way. I think they ended it prematurely, and they should have added a little bit more into there. I think they're trying to extend it into like a into 3 movies. I'm not 100% sure, but yeah, it wasn't the best movie, but I do love storylines. So like my wife will turn on something, she'll turn on something, and I could not be a fan at all. Like she watches Sex in the City, and I'm not a fan at all. But when I sit down and start watching it and get engaged in the story in the first 5 minutes, now I have to watch the rest of it. I'm one of those people. um, Watch Ethereum run this year. It was crazy. It will happen again out of nowhere. Yeah, I think it will. I think you're right. And what's going to be good with all of these positions, all of these crypto positions, and I know we get into crypto, we're talking about AMC here, but we can talk about other things. When we get into crypto, don't worry about this portfolio balance because I transferred everything out. I transferred everything over to Coinbase Pro, which I don't know if it was. I guess it was because it has less transaction fees. So when I sell it for USD, um, I actually have less of a fee there. So that's definitely an interesting take. But for crypto, you can see that a lot of things are down. If we go to crypto market cap, let's look at or coin market cap. Go to coin market cap, we can see that uh, the crypto market cap is down to $1.19 trillion after being up to a high, I think, of like 2.4 or 2.6 or something like that. And there are so many different cryptocurrencies that we can buy. Look at Cardano down to $1.03. That is amazing seeing that low. Seeing XRP down to 52 cents. Seeing Dogecoin down to 16 cents. Let's see, Litecoin down to 106. It was down to 103, now 105. You're going to see Ethereum Classic down to sub 40, which is definitely an interesting take on that. What is Ethereum at? Did they add on? Yeah, they added on a little bit. It seems like Ethereum Classic adds on more than Ethereum does. That's interesting. Polygon is at 65 cents. That has about 6 billion and hmm, yeah, it's about 6 billion there. Filecoin has 89 million in circulating supply. Internet computers down to $27, almost $28. VeChain's down to 5 cents. There's a lot of positions that are decreasing quite a bit, and it I don't know, it just looks really really good. I love seeing that, and I always focus on the circulating supply to understand whether something does have less circulating supply. I mean, yeah, you look at something like Maker, that's at $2,164. Compound, I'm definitely thinking about. I need to make a move into there. Probably going to buy one today. So we'll see how all of this plays out. But cryptocurrency, I'm going to continue to buy into, and then when we end up having those larger moves, we're going to see something really really big. So whether I see Anchor go from 4 cents or 7 cents all the way up to $20 or up to $100 or whatever, that's going to be really big. So I'm definitely going to keep grabbing more and more crypto, whether it's Anchor or AMP or whatever. what's the biggest percentage down for crypto? It looks like Rune. Rune is that's 234 million supply. That's at $3.21. 17%. There's a lot that's down quite a bit. 16%. Jesus. Thank you for becoming a member. I don't know how to say that. My mouse is just being weird. Flomo. Flomo, thank you for becoming a member. I appreciate it. New members are always welcome. Good morning, Matt. We have 467 people in here, guys. Hit that like button if you can. It does help out. I just have hacked your mouse. It seems that way. I don't know what's going on with this. This is $100+ mouse. And I love this mouse, but I think I might have messed up the receiver mechanism, I guess, because when I pulled it out of the computer, like the top portion came off, which I don't know if it does have a warranty. I guess it might. I have to check into that. Right now, AMC is up about 1.47%, up to $35.13, which is not bad. It's a positive day. Let's see if we can hold that and actually increase quite a bit. Hopefully we have something really good today. After squeeze, you can buy a new one. Oh, a new mouse. I can buy a new mouse right now. I don't want to because this was $100+ for a mouse. Like, I have my wired mouse and that works perfect. And this was like $5. I don't know how much it actually was. It was probably somewhere around like 15, but still, it was cheap. And this is $100 mouse, which is supposed to be one of the best mouse that's on the market. You know, the best business mouse, I guess. It's the Logitech MX Master 3. I had this probably for about 6 months, 7 months. I still think there's more crypto to drop. I believe we're going to have a big dip. Started to have massive upward movement. I mean, I hope we do see more of a dip. This is something where I'm not letting go of it because of, you know, a loss of 50% at the moment. I know the potential of where these can get to, and I'm going to continue to add more and more to this situation, to my cryptocurrency, and just let it flow, let it ride. Buy a new mouse and return the old one. I've had it for 6 months. $100, that would have been a lot of AMC. 6 months ago would have been a ton. Yeah, I just finished AMC. Yeah, I mean, again, I spent what I want to spend on AMC. Everything else that is sitting there, obviously, I can buy options and all that stuff. But I spent what I want to spend on AMC, and I'm letting the rest just sit there, and I'm holding it. Because the more that people, I understand like the whole premise of buy the dip. You should buy the dip, and I have bought the dip. It's just so tempting whenever it happens. But what I tend to do is I'll just sit on it. And I think sitting on it is like sort of the best option. Some people will put money that they don't have in the position, and then when they do that, they're more likely to get a little bit itchy when it comes to selling the position. When it gets to higher and higher numbers, they're like, you know what, I need to sell it because this is money that I need. If it's money that I don't need, then I'm comfortable with holding it. You know, I'm not a person on YouTube that gets, you know, 20,000 viewers or 30,000 viewers and brings in possibly $10,000 a day on videos and everything. So I'm not going to put all of that into one position. So if I was one of those people that got like 10,000 viewers or even just 5,000 viewers a day, then it would be something where I put more money into the stock market. But I put as much as I feel that is necessary into my short-term trades. Everything else that I feel I need for retirement and all that stuff goes into my long-term accounts, and even have some AMC in my long-term accounts just so that it's tax-free. But yeah, I doubt that, Kate. I feel like AMC is the high. I don't know. I don't know. I don't see that. Some people say that it can go down to these levels. It definitely can, like showing based on the charts. Based on the charts, it definitely can. However, I don't know if it will. I think we'll see a bounce. And I thought we would see that bounce at 31, and let's see if we can see some positive movement from here. Personal question that you don't need to answer, but do you have money in stocks and in savings account, or is it mostly in stocks? And how do you decide which to place to put money if you both? So I don't have it in a savings account anymore. High interest savings have gone down. I've had my money in high interest savings accounts that gained me around 2% per year, but high interest savings accounts, the overall APY has gone down, so it makes no sense for me to move that there. So I usually split money that I have free into the stock market, into cryptocurrency now, and also into long-term investments into Fidelity. So I'll put it into my Roth IRA. I'll put it into some into Carl's Calls. I'll also put some into 529 accounts for both children. And that's usually where I stand with that money. Everything else, I mean, I have money that comes out automatically from my 401k. And if that ever, if I wanted to roll that over, then I could roll that over to Fidelity. If I ever ended up quitting my job, which I don't know if I will, not at these numbers that I'm at. I have to get to a certain point where I feel 100% comfortable, especially with, what's it called, student loans and all that stuff. But how do I split it? I mean, I usually just go like 50% between like I'll probably go about 40% into my short-term account, so into Webull, and then I'll put whatever's free. So yeah, I'll put 40% into Webull. I'll take probably 10% and put it into crypto now, and then the other 50% gets split between all the long-term investment accounts. That's usually how I break it down. Usually. It tested breaking down from 31 a couple of times. Yeah, I seen 31 and I was just like that bounce, and I wasn't gonna say 31 like a firm 31. I thought it was gonna be somewhere around 31, 31.50, 31.80, something like that. It would bounce somewhere around that 31 area, and then end up increasing and getting back to certain levels, and now it's up to 35. So let's see if we can break up to maybe 39 or 40. It resisted 40 multiple times, so I think it's going to have a little bit of trouble unless it breaks very early. If it breaks it very early and gets up to like 42, you will see it bounce back and get to about maybe 37. But it just depends. I'm not really looking at a lot of the chart right now, but you'll probably see it pull back below 40 and increase, and hopefully stay above that level. A lot of times when you see it increase to certain levels during the day, you're going to see it increase and then start to fall off. The thing we seen yesterday was interesting, was that increase, it started to fall off and level out and then increase again, which was very, very interesting. It's something that you typically don't see. A lot of other times you'll see it dip, increase and then start to really, really fall off. It doesn't necessarily have to fall off all the way like it did the day prior, but it usually falls off and starts to slowly decrease back down to about break even. So we've seen that. Let me actually bring this back. So we've seen that a number of days to where that's actually happened, where it goes up and then starts to fall off. The good thing is some of these days you start to see the end of the day somewhere around, maybe that 2 o'clock mark, maybe 2 o'clock mark, they start to increase and you start to see some movement. Let's see, let's go back. But yeah, some of these days were just a complete fall after seeing, I guess, maybe some covering of some positions up to 37, then decreasing down. So you, at the end of the day, typically you'll see some sort of a fall off. Do you do ETFs or indexes for your long term? I do both. So I have ETFs in my Roth IRA. I have index funds in separate places, but I usually will go for the Fidelity funds within Fidelity, and right now that has gained me about 30% over the year, which is amazing. A standard index fund will give you around 10% total return, right? Obviously compounding everything and adding that in, but I would imagine that it's going to kind of fall off towards the end of that fund, the end of the life of that fund. And it's going to be about 10%, 5%. I'll start to gain less and less. I'm gaining aggressive amounts now, but I won't be gaining that aggressive amount when it comes to the end of that fund. Same thing with the what's called the 529 accounts. So yeah, I invest in both. ETFs. I have a number of ETFs. That's why I have a ETF watch. If you are a part of the Money Makes Money member, I go through ETF watches. Now I don't go through all of them that I go through on Patreon. So if you're on Patreon, I do more ETF watches there. I think we're on like 6, but over on YouTube we're on like 3. So I do about half, or I only upload half. Hey Matt, do you think MAT has a chance to ever go back up after the merger? I think everything really has a chance to go back up. Just know that we've seen a hit to the market. So it's not necessarily just from this position. Do I think that it's going to go back up to 21? It might be tough to see that. But I do think we will see a little bit of an increase, getting back on track, maybe getting up to this, up to a reasonable level, somewhere around $9-10. Getting back up to $21 is something that I don't feel will make that move unless you start seeing some crazy volume into it. But yeah, I would say it can go up, but it's not. I don't think it's going to go up to those levels we were at previously. So $21, I don't think that's the case. Do you have any calls for AMC? Yes, I do. I have 2 calls for AMC with a strike price of $37, and I have another call for a strike price of another call for a strike price of $65, and that's for August 21st. I'm just looking for that to increase a crazy amount. I'm not looking to get to the expiration of either of those, but we'll see how that plays out. Gotta go, Matt and family. Hope all profits today, and I have. Able to. Well, thank you for being here. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it. Anybody that does stop by, anybody that watches my content, I appreciate it 100%. Did you see the screenshots of a screenshot buys on Twitter? I didn't realize how much he was. Buys 200. Yeah, I mean, you look at YouTube, and I can tell you that, and I don't want to air out anybody's financial situation, but I mean, they can potentially make more from YouTube than they've ever made from AMC. I wouldn't be surprised if both of them have netted $1 million so far. in total. I mean, if you had sponsorships and everything like that, I wouldn't be surprised in 7 months if they've hit 100, 200, 200K in a single month, depending how many streams you have. I would imagine that um, looking at tax revenue, just factoring in the standard thing that you look at, gets about 200,000 to 300,000, sometimes 800,000 viewers in a single stream. And if you're looking at that at $10 per thousand views, I mean, you're looking at about what, $8,000 just on the views alone, plus maybe a sponsorship deal, plus the Discord, plus the the merch sales, memberships, all of that stuff. I mean, you're making a lot of money from just the viewership alone, not even factoring in the making money in the stock market. You don't have to make money at all. You physically don't have to make anything because you can make everything that you may have lost there. You made, like, you had an ability to put 200,000 into the stock market, um, but you made 500,000 from YouTube. No, like, no hate at all. Obviously, it's great, because you can become a larger and larger whale in the situation. Um, but yeah, you make a lot of money on YouTube. As long as you're getting in consistent views, you make a lot of money. People may tell you differently, but I'm very transparent. AMC should be between $20 and $25, in my opinion, and chance to move up if Hollywood doesn't release doo doo. This is post squeeze. Yeah, I think post squeeze, it might actually be, it might end up being more than that. Might end up being worth somewhere between 30 and 50. The reason why is because I think post squeeze they're going to have a lot of changes to their business, and there's going to be a lot of people investing in the position, and people are not going to be afraid of issuing more shares at these prices because of the fact that they're okay with everything happening after the squeeze because they're not looking to push the squeeze anymore, right? So if they're offering more shares or issuing more shares, they can do it on days where we'll actually see a lot of fluctuation. So yeah, he said before how much he made on YouTube, unreal, and I don't remember the exact number per month he makes, but more than double my yearly pay. Yeah, and that's only from him posting videos and not streaming every day. Just imagine, I know you're probably talking about Trey, but just imagine what Matt makes, streaming every single day for 8 hours, you know, with just the views and sponsorships and also the videos, which he probably gets about 100 to 200,000 views on the videos. So doing that with two ads in there, which increases the ad rate from $10 to $20 per thousand views. So then what you're going to see, instead of it being, $1,000 that they gain from 100,000 views, he's gaining $2,000 per 100,000 views they have there, which would be $4,000 total of the regular videos plus $8,000 or $10,000 worth of the stream, plus looking at all of the extra stuff that you have going on. So it's you're kind of crossing the $15,000 a day mark just from YouTube videos. So obviously there's a lot that goes into it, and that's just like personal finance. I had a YouTube channel once for fitness. I don't mean to brag. One of my videos had like 200 views. That's kind of a big deal. I guess I got right before the Gymshark sponsorship money. Yeah, I mean, people can still, make money as a fitness channel. It doesn't really pay as much as like a finance channel, but you can make a lot as a fitness channel. I've been telling my wife because she loves to, go to the gym, and we built our own gym in the house, a garage gym. So I figured she can, do something there, and we can write off the gym if she chooses to do it for her business, but she doesn't want to do it. So it's I'm not gonna push her to do it if she doesn't want to do it. Um, Not really any of your business, but they don't ask for wait, they don't ask for anything. They put in the legwork. They deal with the mental toll and all move. I don't know what you're saying here. I was taking a break now. 11:30ish to 2. So new slot open for you, Matt. Can you explain the share count? AMC share count and how we can break past 50 with less shares. How we can break past 50 with less shares. Can you explain the NVIDIA, or I guess, what is it? Can I explain their share count? I have no idea. I don't understand how their price is so high with so many shares. Typically, when you have less shares, you can get to a higher price. When you have more shares, it's difficult to hold on to a higher price because you have more people that are selling higher shares. You know what I mean? So to understand that and how we can get there with less shares, it's better to have less shares because the price fluctuation is a lot more. You think about it out of supply and demand. If you have a ton of supply and you have a certain amount of demand on the position, then you're basically going to say, okay, well, this can only move a certain amount. But if that supply ends up being lower and that demand stays the same, now you're going to see that price fluctuation a lot more. So it's a different situation that we're looking at. I have no idea why NVDA is up to $189 when they have how much of Jesus? Why does it say the free float is $1.85 trillion? I guess that's off of this price, maybe? That's a little ridiculous. But you're seeing about 2.4 billion in the free float, which is what, I don't know, 5 times 5 times more than what AMC is. So when you see less of a share count or a free float, you're going to see more of a price fluctuation, more of that ability to increase a massive amount. So if they're holding, I would imagine they have to be holding like 60 or 70% of the position, and it's not being shorted at all, right? Because that's the only way that you can get up to this height. It makes no sense to me whatsoever to have a 1.85 trillion market cap. C4 is very again. War zone. What is it? You're jacked. Matt, will you get drunk for this stream when the squeeze happens? I don't think I'll get drunk. I haven't gotten drunk in so long. I don't know. Kind of a waste of time for me. I'm gonna be day drinking like a real rich person that day. What are you gonna be drinking? That's the real question. Bitcoin and others are done. And Coinbase and the other outlets that allowed people to trade coins like stocks. No, I don't think that's the case. This is actually going to be a strength for cryptocurrency. The only reason we're seeing it dip so much is because um, institutions have been heavily getting into crypto as they started to see crypto make huge numbers and huge changes, right? So when you see that, they can now mirror the crypto market with the stock market because they're holding so many shares and their assets are, maybe 20% crypto and, I don't know, 70% stock market and 10% gold or whatever. You know what I mean? Like they have different places that they put their money into, but now they can mirror what the stock market action actually is with the crypto market, or mirror the crypto market with the stock market, you know? So I think that we're going to see something pretty big. It sucks that we would have institutions heavily invest in a lot of these positions because they're trying to control everything. And if they can control everything, then it's just going to be the same situation over and over again. You need another area to where institutions can't really buy a certain amount. I don't really know how you get away from that, but no matter what, institutions can invest in so many different things, just like Tesla investing 1.5 billion into Bitcoin. They do that. Now they control a very large portion of what Bitcoin can do. You know what I mean? Should I buy more ZOM? That's totally up to you. I believe in ZOM. I seen an article yesterday talking about how ZOM can make a pretty big move. It didn't really have any news associated with it, just really talking about the potential of it. And I'm gonna stay with it. I have 7,000 shares, and that's just how it's gonna be. I would buy more, but I don't have any more money to put to it. True, but the way it better than bank. Yeah, I would agree with you. The only thing is that I think it was better, and I think the only thing that really messed it up, and what continues to mess up a lot of these situations where we see current investments that we can get into, is institutions, businesses that are able to invest in these coins. Once they see, once institutions see the ability to get into something and not have a crazy amount of risk of it pulling back, something that they can um, kind of stabilize themselves, then they start to take control of that. And I hate seeing that. But then you start to realize that it's like, all right, well, now you have to realize, or you have to look into the black box of crypto instead of the black box of the stock market. And it sucks because they control a large portion of it. And you're sitting here with 10,000 shares while they're sitting there with, or 10,000 coins while they're sitting there with a million or 2 million or 10 million or 20 million or 100 million of, or $1.5 billion worth of a coin, and they're holding a massive amount. So it's not, it doesn't look good for the future of crypto, but you still have a possibility of making money with new crypto coming up every year, every month, probably every week. Crypto needs regulation, but doesn't need regulation at the same time. Yes, 100%. My thing is, why does so much FUD come out for AMC? Because of the big whales want to scare us away for a reason. Why do you think whales are scaring us away from crypto? So they can accumulate more. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what they're trying to do. And I hate having to play all of these mental games with the government, institutions, hedge funds. I hate having to do that, but you kind of have to. What's the status on BTD? I started actually, but for some reason I think I have to create liquidity. I don't know how to do all that. So I have let me see if I go into my Ethereum wallet. All right, let me pull this out. Wait a second. So I was trying to do it in a certain way. I wish I could do it to a different way, but I don't know how to fully do this. So I created something based on what I seen on the internet. But if somebody is better at creating cryptocurrency, if you are really good at creating cryptocurrency, um, I can pay you to create the cryptocurrency. Um, that's all I need is I need probably just some sort of example that you created, and we can work through some stuff. But I did create something, I guess, on the Ethereum network, but I don't know how to edit it or anything. It doesn't really give you an option to edit the icon, what that looks like. But I created something, and it doesn't have a value to it. But let me show you here. So I created something BTD here, which I had 100,000 created. I sent 80,000 back to uh, the address, but I wasn't really sure where to go from here. It said that I had to create liquidity, which I did end up creating it through what's it called? Something. Uniswap. And I created a liquidity pool there, but I wasn't 100% sure where to go from here. And if I could even edit it, because I don't even have a picture for this, but I do hold 20,000 BTD, but I would like to create a different, obviously you can have multiple things with different ticker symbols or whatever you want to call it. But that's the status right now. Not really the best status. Coin is just a bank account claiming. I might know a guy. Let me ask. Yeah, definitely. Let me know. And baby cakes, the next crypto moons. Currently rocketing in the bloodbath. That's awesome. You're saying the BTC. Is it something that's making a move? Like you said that. No, let me bring it over here. Coin market cap. And then also bring up this and bring coin market cap up here. Put that right by. What'd you say is moving? Would I be able to search it here? BTC. Would I be able to search it here, or am I not able to find that? If it squeezes while I'm at work, squeezes while I'm at work, or to two stations. Yeah, I will, I guess. I'll find a way to do it. Let's see how Coinbase plays the tax situation. Yeah, that'll be interesting. I would imagine it's just you're gonna see. Well, you have to obviously get financial like reports from them, so or tax reports. Get it? Yeah, I got you. You guys missed like 2x since I first mentioned. Once less than a week ago, not on CoinMarketCap yet. Okay. Coinbase going bring people to their knees. Tax time. Watch. I don't know. I don't know about that. We'll have to see. All right, so we got 506 people in here. We got 1 hour until the stream ends. So make sure you guys hit the like button. It does help out. We got 357 likes. Would like to have about 500 likes. That would be amazing to get me to that point. If you are new here and you haven't hit the like button, please take some time to do it. Takes a couple of seconds. Right now, AMC is sitting at $35.05, still up about 1.2%. We're not really seeing a crazy amount of volume. Currently at 157 or 159,000 shares in Webull alone. Let's look at what happened. We're way back. So we are seeing some slow growth here. Hopefully we don't see a pullback towards the end. It looks like there's less manipulation that's going into this pullback. It's more or less just a slow growth from maybe some buying and selling power, nothing really changing too much. But if we look at, let's say 701, 701 didn't really have a large impact, only 6,800 shares went through. And now we're looking at about 801. 801 is sitting about 60,875 shares. So yeah, I mean, it's not really showing too much, information here. Let's look at GME as well. GME is up 2.28%, up about $4, up to 177. Does the pre-market action tell you anything about how the price action may play out that day? It usually tells me where it will resist from. It usually tells me. Sometimes it will break through that resistance point, and sometimes you'll see it break through certain support levels. A lot of times I like to add a target for about $1 below the lowest support level in the pre-market, which the support level is 34. So, or I believe. That might be lower than that. Yeah, 30, 34 or so. So I'm thinking you might see somewhere around 33. That's where you'll see it bounce from 33 or 32, maybe high 32s. And then you'll end up seeing an increase here. So I'm thinking today, you might actually see a decent day. I hope that I'm right by saying that we'll see a decent day. And I think we're going to resist from 40 and then probably pull back a little bit and end up closing not that high of a price. We're probably going to close somewhere around 36.50. Let's say that 36.50 or 36. Let's go 36.43. How about that? 36.43 is where we're going to close. I hope it's higher than that, but I think we're going to resist away from 40 yet again. And then on Wednesday, that's when we'll see it break past. Would you say we've been in a huge bull flag recently? If so, would consolidation break the flag? Um, and cause a run. I feel like the way we've been looking at this, I feel like we've already broke the flag. And now it's out of that bull flag scenario. When we were somewhere up in this range and we were still making that move, even up to this point, I still seen it as a bull flag setup in form of consolidation. I'm not seeing this consolidation after filling that gap a little bit somewhere around here. I'm not really seeing that consolidation. So, um, yeah, I think we've broken that full bull flag setup. I think now we're just looking for other patterns, but I think the patterns don't really hold if there is manipulation that's going into it. Howdy, brother, to the moon. Yes. I'm putting the gains into AMC. This is a good price. Good morning, my fellow apes. Good morning. Hey, good morning, everybody. We got about. Whew. What are your thoughts about the new chart? I think people keep on talking about basically showing we're about to go straight up. Forgot what it's called. Something about a parabolic. I haven't even looked up the definition because what that is. Never let me down. Parabolic curve pattern. What's something that gives you definition? Unsecure site. And generate mega bull trends. These patterns trend gradually make higher highs and lower lows. Volatile. Makes higher highs and lower lows. Interesting. First stage is irrational buying, and public generates the strong rally to push prices. Followed by steep sell-off. Examples of this pattern include Nasdaq bull of 1990 to 2000, retraced 80%, and from 2000 to 2011 retraced 2%. Yeah, I thought you already posted it in the Discord. I just never looked at it. I've been busy with the kids. Dressing me and my newborn son as Dr. Evil and Mini Me for Halloween. That's good, because you want $1 million. Is that where you're going to do that the whole entire time? 1 million. $100 million. May I just dress up as a green candle? A little late, but did anyone catch the MRIN move? It was signaled in the Discord, and I'm in and got in at $1.88 and sold at $21.33. Blast off to 51 minutes. Yeah, I mean, it was MRN super pump and dump. Good you got out. Yeah, I mean, again, it was signaled a lot of places. A lot of people didn't make moves. It was talked about in my my chat here pretty much days before, and it just people just didn't make the move. I made a little bit of money out of it, but it wasn't something to where I played it as a full play going from 188 to 21. You should have seen the look of my boss gave me yesterday when I told him how funny it was watching the Dow drop 7 points in 30 minutes. Where's the DD part in the Discord? Just tried to look. I believe most people just put it in the general just it's actually in the AMC channel. Posted at 07 today. And just I have a feeling just put in a call. Yeah, I have a call option in for I think 60 something. I can't remember what it was. But that's for like August 21st or something. Last chance to buy more ADA. I don't think it's the last chance. I think we're going to see more and more, and I'm going to continue to buy it. I bought, what was it, 113 yesterday. Such an odd number, but I did buy it. Where do I find where do you find it? In the Discord. It's the AMC channel in the Discord. If you're not in the Discord, you can click the link in the description. Uh, Sebastian, he's talking about the Discord, or he or she, I don't really know. They're talking about the Discord that you pay $500 like a month for or something, or $200 a month or something like that. Sounds like the folks who are screaming, this in your last chance to buy Ethereum sub 4K. Yeah, let me take a peek. Yeah, I would say you probably you can buy some, but continue to add more. That's what I plan on doing is I'm gonna buy more and more. Um, every single time I have a little bit of money, I'm gonna buy a little bit more of different pieces. Like I want to buy more compound right now, and the next thing I'm gonna buy into is probably some more like Anchor. I do have Pi at I have a lot of Pi. I think I have 10,000 coins or 20,000. I think I have 28,000. I don't know. Let me check. They have 28,000 coins, and that has the potential chance to go a lot higher. I can only look at it up on here because I don't have the website saved. My other one. Yeah, I have 28,580 Pi coins or Pi tokens, whatever you want to. 1,750 is hard to beat. I mean, 1,700 could be a little bit better, or 1,600. But yes, I would agree with you. That is very low. Maddox is cheap, homies, and homegirls simply practice dollar cost averaging, and you'll be just fine. Yeah, with crypto, I think we're not going to see anything until we see. I don't know when altcoin season is, but until we start to see that influx in volume when it comes to altcoins and it comes to coins in general, that's when we're going to start to see that massive move. But right now, for me, I'm at least going to continue to dollar cost average down and continue to add on to my position. Even if it does end up increasing a little bit, I want to buy more and more. I would love to buy more and more of compound. I would love to have 10 coins of compound and maybe even 100. That's what I would like. And if we can get down to a point to where it gets to $100 or $90 again, that's where I'm going to buy into that because I know the potential of this coin. Just being released in 2020, something that doesn't have a lot of data behind it, but was at $90 and got up to a high of $900. So that's pretty big. Yeah, it could be careful with coins. Could be a dip. Could be a new low. Yeah, I would agree with you. Could be a new low, but I think if you continue to DOS caller, uh, uh, dollar cost average down, you're going to continue to add on to your position for the eventual larger push. And it's not something that you're looking for a swing trade or day trade off of. It's more of a longer term play, maybe even getting to a year's time. And then as it does go lower, if it goes like, say if you have something that's at $100 and it goes down to um I don't know, $1 or $10. Now you have a way of buying in more shares to lower that cost average and actually increase that. So if it goes up to $15, now you just gained a ton of money out of it because you have a crazy amount of shares, you know? There's a price point for AMC. Wait, is there a price point for AMC? Could get up that would make you panic in a good way. That would make me panic in a good way. Yes. Not completely panic, but just see it as an opportunity to sell more shares. I would say I have certain levels that I want to sell at, but the ultimate level of it getting to about $5,000 would be something I would be really comfortable with selling, all of my position at. I don't care if it getting to, $10,000, but getting to around 5,000 would be something where most likely I'm only going to have about 400 shares left. So that 400 shares at $5,000 could be pretty big. What would that be? About two? Is that $2 million? Is that accurate? Sorry, I just started daydreaming about numbers. 700K. Yeah, there's certain levels to where I'm just like, you know what, I'm comfortable with anything that happens at some of these numbers, and I think I will only have probably about 400 shares at that point. Going all the way up, you'll see me make moves at different levels and basically off about 500 shares, depending on what happens. If we see any pullbacks, then I could always get out and buy back in with the same amount of shares that I had, basically buying in more shares for um, less money. Or what I can do, sorry, actually buy in more shares for the same amount of money, or I can buy in the same amount of shares for less money, if that makes sense. So basically, I'm pocketing some of that money and see that happen from there. So I'll have multiple opportunities to do that, probably 5 chances, if not more than that, depending on what happens. But yeah, that's what I'm looking for. My calculations to put it at $2,020,000 after taxes. What? West Citadel attendees. Yes, yes. Any predictions for today, AMC price? I did end up giving my predictions where it stood. I still do want to look at where it stands, but right now we're up about 2%, up to $35.35, up about 76 cents. But my predictions, as I see them, typically we're gonna see a little bit of a dip in the morning, and I usually like to take some of the lower lows and take off just about $1 or close to where that dollar mark is. And I'm thinking we might see somewhat of a dip down to about 33, maybe high 33s, um, high 33s or mid 33s or high 32s. Let's go with that. Then you're going to see that bounce up until it resists at 30, 39 or 40. And then you're going to see it finish somewhere around 37. That's where I'm thinking, or I said 36. What was it? Only up about 4%, I think, 5% or so. What did I say? 36.43. Did I say that? 46.33. Wait, 40. Wait, 36.43. That's what I was gonna go with. So that was my prediction for today. I hope it goes way past that. Like goes up to 45 and then stays and hovers around that and maybe comes back to 42. I would love that. But my overall thought looks like I'm freezing a little bit. Kramer has done way too much cocaine in the past day. Okay. No, you said 36.50. Did I? 36.50? All right, well, let's go with 36.50. I thought I kind of gave a weird number. I remember saying 36.50, but I could have swore I left off at 36.43, but I will say 36.50. Let's leave it at that. 46 is better. We need to be hedge fund greedy with AMC and GME. Yeah. We keep running up, and my $50 call is going to have to have me buying the good catch up. That's pretty funny. Not that store brand crap. You have Telegram. I don't. I don't have it. Yeah, I see that boy blow his top a few times. Have a good day, all. You too. Thank you for being here. Or can I connect them to you on Discord? You can connect them to me on my email if it's something that's business related. So it's only my business email. Let me copy and paste the email here. So yeah, here's my business email. Everyone has 700K mindset. We'll get to that level. Yeah, I mean, everyone has to have that point. We're seeing a pretty decent increase here, up to 35.69. We're up about $1, 3%. But it was up to about $6.99 at one point, up $2.99 to close, but it's going to the moon today. What's a selfish purchase you look forward to after the squeeze? A selfish purchase? I don't really have a selfish purchase. I'm not that type of person. I buy things for investment purposes and all that stuff. Like right now, I'm buying a lot of Funko Pops, right? Because I know that they can have a large investment, and it's mainly Marvel that I'm buying. So I'm literally going to have, I'm hoping to have the largest collection of just Marvel Funko Pops and just hold on to those for a long period of time, for a long investment or a large investment of holding basically every single one. Um, and I've seen a lot of them right now. When I'm looking at the value of them, they've gone up from $8 or $10 that I paid for them to $45 or so. So right now it's a different price, and some of them that I've seen go up to, like I've seen a Loki pop that was like $2,000 or something ridiculous. So I buy everything for like investment purposes, and I don't really have a selfish purchase that I plan on doing. We are seeing this make a pretty decent increase here. Look at this gain. Look at this, getting up to 36. And we see it before the market open. My prediction might have to change if it opens up. Whatever goes up, obviously must come down a little bit. So if you see a little bit of a pullback, a little bit of a settle, or we could just see it continue to go. Oof. Why can't the market be open right now? Guys, please do yourself and your families a favor and don't be public about your money after the squeeze. Yeah, that's true. $50 for July 23rd, right? I don't know what we're talking about. Yes, chef. Like you're talking to Gordon Ramsay, is that what you're going with? On my phone so I can tag people. I guess you guys are talking to each other. Did not the big run up start the way it is going now? AMV conversation, Matt. Sorry. I'll see my way out of it, I guess. Good morning. Good morning, all. Did you see what Jim Cramer said to apes? That we better find a trust fund or boomer because we will need it. What does that even mean? You actually think they'll buy back each share if it's worth 700K? It will engineer a way out well before that will happen. Just my opinion for everything that happened. I think 5K to 15K max. So I get what you're saying. Do I think that they will do it? I think that if they're forced to do it, then yes. Do I think that 700K is an option? That's not even in, like, that's $200,000 above where the roof is for me. Where the top floor is, I was thinking somewhere around, that 100, maybe 200 is the top floor. But then when you're looking at a realistic level, somewhere around 10 to 20, because of the fact that you're going to have people sell their position when they see higher and higher figures, right? When you see it get to, 10K, there's going to be a lot of people that hold 100 shares that see $1 million in their account. Just 100 shares. You see $1 million in your account. You're telling me that you're not going to make that move? I guarantee people are going to make that move. People with 1,000 shares are going to see a ridiculous amount in their account. What is it? Is it 10 million? Yeah, $10 million in their account. Yeah. People with 10,000 shares, $100 million. You're telling me you're not going to sell if you see $100 million in your account. It's a mental thing that you have to kind of break down in your head and say, what are people going to do? Is if this person has 100 shares, what is he going to do? He or she going to do at $10,000? When would they sell if they have 100 shares? If the average person has 120 shares, or if you see whales that have larger and larger shares, what will the people, what is a Funko Pop? It's a Funko Pop. It's basically like a vinyl figure, kind of like similar to, like, like people would collect action figures and keep them in the box and make a ton of money from them now. Like if you have like an original like G.I. Joe or something, you would make a crazy amount of money from it. That's basically what these are. I would imagine, just like how Pokemon cards are and all that stuff, you consider them investments, and that's what I'm looking at, is finding an investment there. So that could be something that I go through when I do have something that I paid a decent amount and gained something from, just to show you another form of investing. And also I can write off the expenses of Funko Pops as well. I agree 100%. Would people earn 60K a year, not take 500K profit in a day? Yes, I agree. Like that's where my head is it's always a mental thing. What are people going to do at certain levels? If you were in that situation, let's say you had like no money, or you made $20,000 a year, and now you invested in something and you have 200 shares of this position, it goes to $10,000 worth of value. You're telling me that you going from making $20,000 a year, now holding $2 million worth of a stock, are you telling me that you're going to sell or you're not going to sell? I would guarantee that they probably sold off when it got to about $1 million worth of value, so half of that. So it depends what situations you're in. If you're an institution that holds 1 million shares, right, and it gets to this level, right, it gets to $1,000 worth of value, you do see the capability of going up. A lot of institutions have more of the ability to hold than anybody else, but will they sell at those levels? It's a possible chance, So you have to play that mental game with yourself and say what's going to happen at certain levels and where will I be within those levels. We just seen this break $36.01, and now is currently at $35.96, 95 cents, 93 cents, 96, 97 cents, 95 cents, 91, 95. You get what I'm saying? It keeps changing. But they're up. AMC is up about 3.84%. Matt got the email, so some of the core developers for Tesla say potentially could help, and they know what they're doing. I'm waiting to hear back, but they could definitely help get you squared away. All right, perfect. Obviously, I want to make sure that everything is legit there, and um, if I ever start my own YouTube channel, my name is going to be Funkle Pop. It Funkle Pop Finance. That's pretty good. How many shares makes you a whale? I would say if you're holding 10,000 shares, I think that makes you a retail whale versus an institutional whale. Um, yeah, so Fire King said the same thing. 10,000 shares. It depends what situation you're in. Anything above 5,000, if you get to higher and higher figures, can make you a whale because it really depends if people are going to buy that back. So if you look at it at $10,000, or it's at $10,000 worth, per stock, right, per share, and you wanted to sell 5,000 shares, that makes you a whale because are people going to buy your 5,000 shares at $10,000? Probably not. The only people that are going to buy it is probably the hedge funds that are covering. So you can look at less and less share count as being a whale at higher and higher prices, if that makes sense. But right now, where we are, all the way up to probably $500, I would say 10,000 shares makes you more of a retail whale. 100 to a million shares makes you more of that institutional whale. That makes sense. That makes sense to anybody? The squeeze is going to fall short because if people are going to panic sell off too quick. It could be a possible. It could be possible that we're not going to see it get to 100K, but it definitely will be a larger squeeze. I do believe we will see a big push, but this is why I tell people not to panic sell. I think it's more or less what you need to do is maybe cover your initial investment, get settled on the fact that everything else is gravy, maybe, cover a little bit more shares. This is why I'm trying to push this agenda because my overall mindset is that everybody is thinking the same. It's getting to a certain point, then I'll sell everything. You know what I mean? That's not the case. How about you find a way to stagger it? If you get to $100 worth of value, don't sell at $100, or let's say, I was trying to say $100 per share. It gets to $100 per share. Don't sell everything that you own. Don't sell all 1,000 shares that you own, right? Maybe sell 20 shares or 50 shares or 100 shares, whatever you feel comfortable with, and then you'll still hold on to 900 shares, which doesn't sell everything, right? Now you can continue that squeeze on the way up if everybody is choosing to do that at certain levels. It will limit the overall roof of it, but you will be able to hold on to shares knowing that you've already gained a decent amount in your bank account. So this is why I keep trying to push that strategy of chipping away at it, not selling everything, not getting to a certain price to where you sell everything you own, just chipping away at it. Chipping away at it is the best way that you could possibly do this, because if you sell this narrative, or this strategy, then it's going to continue the squeeze, versus collapse it. I'm ready to buy this damn $50 option. Price needs to rip a little. I can get in during a good time. You think this is some small covering? Probably a little bit. I wouldn't say this is like FOMO buying that's going in, but probably a little bit of covering that's going on, but just a little bit. You do have some people that are probably buying as you have these lows, but the liquidity, the amount that you can get into is usually not high in the pre-market. You see my Transformers collection? Fire. Do you have them all like in the box and everything? If you can make a red candle, you're a whale. Yeah, I guess that's true. Consider here an over option. Disclaimer from Matt. Not financial advice. It's your money. Have an exit plan to protect yourself. Yes, 100%. Thank you for saying that because I forgot to say it today, and sometimes I forget. I don't have that much of a following to where they're going to come after me anyways, but still, it's not financial advice. This is merely just my opinion. It is your money. So, obviously make your own decisions. It's very tough to just take someone's advice or, opinions on the internet, whether it's a news source or the opinion comes from me. So I can give you my predictions. I can give you where I believe it's going to go for the day, but it's not something that you should put all your eggs into that basket there. Easy there, Jack. The BS part about the thing is trading was happening at 70, yet for some reason we're stuck at 31 to 35. Makes no sense. Yeah, they're consistently shorting it, and people usually wait. When we start seeing a big increase, you have a lot of FOMO buying that goes into it. So people generally buy more when the price starts to go up, which makes no sense to me, but they do it that way. That's just how it works. When people start to see green, they're like, oh, I should buy into this. This is going to move up a lot. But when people see red, they're like, wait, it's going to go down more. Let me hold off. Out of it, it's get zillions. If it's moon, I get zillions. And I want to hire you as my personal financial advisor, or at least I don't. You make uh, financial channel, so we don't get banked. Yes, I'm not saying that I'll make a financial advice channel because I won't ever give out financial advice. You have to find a way to protect yourself, and any investment could go against what you say. But as long as you stick by whatever your rules that you create for yourself, you should be fine. If this rise continues into throughout the day, could we see another potential gamma run up? I mean, we could see a pretty decent run up. I think we're still going to have the same resistance points because they're going to, unless they truly give up as of like today, we're still going to see it resist probably somewhere around 38, 39, or 40, somewhere in that range. And it's going to pull back. I'm hoping it's 40 and we see it pull back a little bit and then we see it break 40 a little bit later. It's all about order routing. So many retail orders get sent through dark pools, which doesn't affect the price action. I don't know if that's true, so I'm not going to my money and I want it now. Now, can you remind me how much goes on taxes, for example, if you were to make 850K? So typically it's around 40%. I always like to account for a lot more so that I always get a bonus. So basically, I would say if you have 850K, right, you would basically put aside 425K, probably end up paying somewhere around the 300 plus K mark, but then you have a bonus of tens of thousands of dollars that comes back to your account or something that you can use. Um, so it's a lot of money. It sucks because you're making money, but all the money that goes into the stock market is most likely um, post tax money. So it's like, I guess, not taxed twice, but then again, it is taxed twice. because the only reason the stock price is increasing and why you're gaining money off of it is because others are putting their post-tax money into the stock market. So anything that you gain should have been off of post-tax money. But I guess in order for them to make money in the government to make money off of this, they end up doing that. Same thing with the lottery. I don't understand the lottery because the lottery is all post-tax money that goes in there. So anything that goes into the pool, I don't understand why anybody gets taxed on it. But yeah. Also, think about family members as well. If you make a lot of money and you end up giving your family members money, I hope that you don't do that. I hope you don't tell them at all. It will be taxed on you, and it will be taxed on them when you end up giving them the money. So just know it'll end up being double taxed. I would probably rather buy physical property or something for that person if that's the case. Whatever they're planning on using it for, you buy it rather than anything else. But still, don't give people money. I told my family members ahead of time, like, look, if I ever become very, very wealthy, which I feel like I am wealthy as of right now, if I ever become very, very wealthy, I'm not going to give you anything. I was like, if there's something that is 100% necessary for my situation to be better, then yes. Like if I physically have to buy my mom like a very small house so that she doesn't, maybe like something goes wrong with the rent or her working or whatever, because as I get older, she gets older, some type of thing like that. And if it's going to be a point to where she has to live with us, which we don't want to have happen, it would make sense to make that move so we don't have to make space for that. But most likely that's not. I told them already, look, I don't expect a handout. I won't give you a handout. So yeah, that's me. And I was just like, I don't expect you to give me a handout either. If you win the lottery, I don't want anything. That's the way you partner it. You couple it with saying, if you win the lottery, I don't want anything from you. Keep your money. Do whatever you want with it. Then you can say, look, but if I become wealthy, I want the same thing. I'm like 70-30 right now about not investing in the market after the squeeze. Now I'm still investing, especially after this squeeze, because in AMC you're going to see a lot of fluctuation, which creates a lot of room for swing trading. I don't want to do that in AMC or GME because I know that it's frowned upon to do that when the squeeze has so much potential, so much possibility behind it. But after the squeeze, absolutely. I was trying to get what you were getting at there. What would Dom say? We got family. That's funny. Your investment money is taxed. Your profit is taxed when you spend. Yeah, that's true. That's another thing you want to look at is the fact that how much did you invest into the position. So if you get out $850,000 and you invested in $50,000, only $800,000 is taxed. So, yeah. All right, so we have 613 people in here, almost 500 likes. If you haven't had a chance to hit the like button, please do it. It does help out. We got about 14 minutes to the end of the stream, and then we have to call it quits. But yeah, I mean, it's fun to be able to stream with you guys early in the morning. Doing about 3 hours worth of a stream. It's always really, really fun. And just talking about different things, whether it's AMC talking about them being up 2.5%, GME being up 2%, or even talking about crypto and what we're going to do with crypto. I would love to do a crypto stream. I just don't have enough time. Like even today, I know I have to mow the lawn and I have a golf tournament right after that. So I have to find a way to mow the lawn today. I got to go to the gym on my lunch break. Um, like there's just so much movement here, and then I have to find a way. I need to post to the MP Shorts channel today. I haven't posted to that in like 2 days, maybe no, maybe even 3 days or so. I think I posted it on Friday. Um, I have to post a a video. Did anybody see the show on Netflix? Is it like Sex Life or something? I think that's the title of it. That show, um, I don't know, like the premise behind it. If you haven't seen it, definitely check it out because I want them to make a season two, and the way that they do that by making a season two is by having, I guess, a lot of people watch it in the first 28 days. So go and go and watch that. It gets you hooked. I don't know, very fast. If you're married, it'll get you really hooked. So definitely go and just watch it. Don't hurt yourself with them rubber 5 pound dumbbells again. I don't know what that means. Did I hurt myself with 5 pound dumbbells? Oh wait, you're talking about my rotator cuff. Is that what you're talking about? But I didn't use 5 pound dumbbells. I usually use the cable bar in order to heal it, and it feels better. Every time I do chest, it messes up like my shoulder a lot. Matt's exit strategy is as good as it gets. Go back and watch the stream he has on it. Yeah, definitely. In your video, you mentioned something about what? Oh, about 5 pound. I think yeah, it was just I do use like 10 pounds. I think for like tricep. I just found out Weeble doesn't accept time. Damn. Yeah, I found out Weeble stopped using my bank account that I've had for um going on 10 years now. So I had to open up another bank account, and Eric was like, "Why do you have another bank account?" It's like because I'm putting all my extra money in there, the money that I keep from you, in there. And she was like, "You better not." I was like, "You haven't even checked out what's in the investment accounts. Like, why are you worried about a bank account? You seen what's in the investment accounts, you would say, hey, you know what? Let's go shopping." But she doesn't see that, so I win. Um, just won a 5K scratch off the other day. Was told I could roll my earnings into something similar. It's called dollar cost averaging. Pay taxes. So guess what I'm buying this morning? I don't know. Breakfast? No, I'm just joking. AMC, I would imagine. What's heavier than 5 pound rubber dumbbells or 5 pound metal dumbbells? 10 pound dumbbells? BTC 20K, then bounce back. You think that's what's going to happen? If it gets down to 20K, I know a lot of people are going to buy into that, and there's a lot of people that are holding on to these positions. Like they've held on from 67K all the way down to 2029 right now. I think that's where it's at. Oh, what is heavier? I thought you were saying what is heavier than. It's okay. Sometimes, you know. I just don't read the full sentence, or I read more words than what's there. But it's okay. It's fine. They were saying what is heavier, but it's okay. I'll live with it. Um, how do you think the market will go today? I've been red for a few days. I feel like we're due for a bounce. Again, I said that we'll see this uh, drop to somewhere around, where's it at now? We'll see it somewhere around 34. I said 33. I'm not so sure now. We did see quite a bit of an increase here. So we might see where some of these lows are. It might drop to let's say maybe 34. But then again, I'm just going to stick to what I had, saying that it was going to drop to low or mid 34s, high 33s or something, increase to about sub 40, bounce off of 40, and then end up finishing somewhere around 36.50. So that's where I believe we're going to see that at. We're going to see that about 4%, 5% up. And that's what I'm sticking with. Even if it does, make a different move, I hope that it does make a move. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'm not going to change my my prediction. We hit 35.97 pre-market. We hit 36.01 pre-market. Would like it to run a little bit today. Matt Perry's show is perfect for a cup of coffee in the AM right before work. That's amazing to hear. Thank you for saying that. Word. We're hitting 700K pre-market. We're starting to see it dip down a little bit. Right now it's at 32. It's only up 70 cents today, which is up 2%. So we're seeing it dip down a little bit. Looking at GME, we're currently at we're up about 1.62%. Best part of waking up, Perry in your cup. I don't know if I should be in your cup. I don't know. I don't know if that's the saying. I think it's Perry on your screen or something, not in your cup. That's a good slogan there. Can you imagine seeing 2 billion volume in a day? That would be phenomenal. I think we've seen in the past like 1 billion. Sounds I wasn't thinking that. People can claim diamond hands, but it's holding during the dips, and and rips. And holding the jackpot is the true diamond hand. Yeah, true. Um, we just saw the price of Doge and crypto. Um, I have seen them. I've been watching everything. I just split my coffee. That's funny. I've already pulled out a chocolate cake and bourbon, ready for a dip and nice cross. We save that for the Perry only fans. I don't think that's coming, so you can. I guess we can save it. It'll be saved there forever. Part of waking up. Perry in your cup. Only since January and February is Diamond Hands. Yeah, holding since before that is true Diamond Hands. I mean, if you had a crazy amount of shares, like say if you had, you bought in at $1 and you bought 50,000 shares. I mean, that is perfect. Right? If you bought 50,000 shares at $1.90, then that is phenomenal, and you made a ton of money out of it so far, and you don't really need to go as far as you want, or as far as you think it's going to go. You can obviously make a ton of money out of it just by having those 50,000 shares and getting up to this crazy price range. Carl, I swear. But we know the ability or where it can get to. I know you could possibly find a way to take your initial investment and move that completely out of there and have everything be gravy with like 40,000 more shares. So, or even just having, I don't know, or selling 2,000 shares of that 50,000. You know what I mean? Oh, you're being weird. I'm sorry, man. Come back. No, wait, come back. Don't go, Carl. I'm not saying exactly what a man who cares about his family would do. Money is nothing but security. Doge went to 15 cents. Did it go to 15 cents? No, it did not. It went to 16. It did drop below this point, but did get to exactly 16 cents. That's a good point. I'll keep that there, and did bounce off of 16. Let's see if it can hold that bounce. I don't know if it can. With crypto bouncing a little bit more, it doesn't look strong there. You don't have a lot of touch points. I just moved this. Now consider leaving the stream on with just the mic when you go mow your lawn. You'd be amazed how successful your stream will be. Um, are you talking about like the like ASMR of mowing the lawn? Because I love the sound of people mowing the lawn. I love the sound of people running the vacuum. I love the sound of people running the hair dryer. I don't know. Those sounds are a loud fan, like industrial sized fan, is perfect. Like it's a perfect sound for me to go to sleep to, which is basically what I go to sleep to every night. And now Erica can't stop going to sleep to this. Y'all just plankton? I don't know what that means. Ray has a lamp. Matt Kors has a chair. You have a mic. I'm telling you, I gotta get Carl to. Oh, sorry, man. I didn't mean to distract you from you drinking your water. I do like you though. You're a good cat. I'm changing my username. Be right back. Well, I'm about to end the stream right now, so hopefully, you change your username before I end up getting out of here. Carl, take over the stream while you're gone. I don't know if he will. He'll probably just step all over keys and stuff and buy shares, and wouldn't be good. Titan and Carl, next internet hot couple. I did see Trey's cat. All right. So guys, that's pretty much it. That's the end of the stream. Guys, hit the like button. We did get to 500 likes. I appreciate everybody getting me there. We're at 500 exactly. I appreciate everybody here that's a member, that's a subscriber, that joined as a member. There's one new member that we had today. Hit the like button if you can. We're up to 505 now, so I appreciate that. Hit the subscribe button if you're not subscribed. Also, check out some of the links in the description. It does help out the channel. Jay, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate that as well. You know, what? Okay, yeah. So yeah, thank you for the super chat. I really appreciate the super chats. But yeah, anybody that's here, thank you for being here. Again, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, subscribe to some of my other channels. Also, if you're over on Twitch, follow me on Twitch because we have about 250 followers over on Twitch. Would love to get that to 1,000. So if you guys are, um, you know, on Twitch at all, follow me over there because I do stream over on that platform as well. And if I wanted to do maybe just a separate stream or become a partner, I can definitely do that and do like separate streams on different channels. You know, do something on YouTube, do something on Twitch, do something on MP Shorts, all of those things that you'll be able to see a consistent stream from. So guys, thank you for being here. Thank you for being a part of this community. Hopefully everything goes great with AMC today. I hope we see, you know, it go back up to 70 today. But yeah, I'm going to get out of here and I will catch you guys in the next video. See ya.